What's good, YouTube? It's your boy. But it ain't easy, man. I'm in the studio. Alright, guys, let's be serious. You see, as you guys can see, because we're in the Mannequin studio, but we're in the more calm Mannequin studio, so I'm not supposed to be shouting like that. Anyways, on today's episode, we're gonna be talking about 4 things I wish let's just chat. Honestly, I'm not gonna give a number. Things I wish that I knew before growing up. I know, yeah. Half the people that watch this channel, according to the algorithm, are between the ages of 18 to 24. So I believe you guys are kind of shocked as to what's going on in your life, meaning growing up. If you're not, I am, because I never expected growing up to be like this, because I never thought it would be like this. Because first of all, like, I really thought that I was gonna grow up and possibly be a millionaire by now. If you ask 18-year-old Ben like where he would be at this time, like, I'll say I was probably gonna be in the NBA. 15-year-old Ben, you're wrong. If you asked my 18-year-old self the same thing, I'll probably tell you that I was gonna be a millionaire from something. I don't know, but we're still on that road, you know? We haven't given up, guys. We're still on the road. But we just realized that shit doesn't work like that. It's like levels to this shit. It's a journey. Alright, so the first thing is learn to love mistakes, basically. Fall in love with your mistakes. What do I mean by these is that you're always gonna make mistakes, and it's okay to make those mistakes. Don't doubt yourself when you make a mistake. Just take it as a point of correction. Every mistake you make is always a learning process, because most likely you're not gonna go back to that mistake, and even if you do, you're just gonna end up being a better person. And that's the same concept with school. Like, you fail, you get a 20 in a test, and you take heed of your mistake, you're going to come out with a better score the next time. Example of my situation, the first time I started selling sneakers. Like, the first time I started selling sneakers, before I started to see profits, I feel like I lost a lot. Like, I would buy sneakers, I would buy shoes that I thought were gonna be hot, and they ended up not being anything, and I would end up losing money, and I would have to still sell them off. Like, trust me, I was just not patient enough to wait till the sale actually kicked in. For the next point is learn to love change. Why I say learn to love change is that before you grow up, you're most likely going to be in a space where you're comfortable. You're in your parents' house. Your route is basically from your parents' house to a friend's house, or from your parents' house to school, back. There's that comfortable life. But you realize that as you go through college and skip through to the main phase of actually becoming a professional or an adult, things are gonna change a lot. Meaning, your parents are not gonna give a shit about you as much, because at that point they're going to expect you to kind of hold your own at the point. Well, they probably would expect you to hold your own mostly when you're in college, but as you're done with college, that's when it's like, all right, this is game time. And then you realize that the world is really not as nice as you thought it was, because everyone is facing the same struggle. It's really not. Everyone is literally facing the same struggle. So get ready for the change. Learn to love that. Number 3, probably the most important. Stop worrying about what other people think about you. Like, stop. You don't need that. Like, at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I'm stressing thinking about it, because honestly, it's something that I've made a deal with myself, that I would not worry about what people think about me. Because you have to realize, hold on, let's put stuff in perspective. There's 7.1 billion people, 7.4 billion people in the world, and you worry about 100 people, even though you okay, let's say you're an influencer and you worry about 10,000 people, your so-called 10,000 followers, that's still not even enough of the people to say you were trying to sell a product, first of all, and you were selling this knife, for example. You're selling this knife and your 10,000 people don't like it. Do you realize that you still have a whole other, do the math, 7.1 billion minus 10,000. Why is this thing always going out of focus? Why are you doing this, camera? Really? Okay, you know what? We're gonna manual focus this thing because this thing's annoying. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, sorry about that. My camera is tweaking, but we're gonna make this video still. Anyways, stop worrying about what people think about you, because at the end of the day, it's your life. Like, most times people that like what you think that people are thinking is just, it's not happening. It's just you. Like, really, people no you know what, I'm just gonna skip on to the next topic. Anyways, sorry guys, everything is dying on me today, so but stop worrying about what other people think about you, because whatever you think they're thinking is most likely not happening. It's all in your head. On to the next point is be honest with yourself. You have to really put in perspective what you want from life. A lot of cases, people make their decisions of what they want to do based off on either like the other people or for the wrong reasons. Like, you could make a decision. Okay, for example, fear of missing out is a huge thing with our generation. FOMO. It all relates to money, and people might feel like you might look at something as like, oh damn, this guy's making a lot of money in doing that, and you go jump in it, and at the end of the day, you jump in it and then you lose money because that's their path. You can't go on another person's path and expect to end the same way they ended, because at the end of the day, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, are you willing to put in the same time the person put into doing that business or that thing, that course? Are you willing to sacrifice the things the person sacrificed? So be honest with yourself before you can be honest with others. Being honest with others is actually it's a whole different category. Being honest is easier. That's all I have to say. It's way easier to be honest. That's all I can say. Because when you lie, you know the saying that our parents always told us, when you lie, you have to cover it up with 7 more, and that's stressful. That's a lot of stress. So be honest with yourself and be honest to others. Another thing is meet as many people as you can. Networking. Your network is your net worth. So the connections you make as you go on in life are going to be very essential to your success. And by the way, I just want to put this out there. Like, I'm not no like successful person, but I am going to be in a few years. So I'm just basically speaking out things that are on my mind to you guys. So next point, find time to be alone. This is something I thrive in. If you guys can tell, I'm one heck of a loner. So obviously it's not always the best, but find time to be alone, especially for those that feel like they always need to be around friends and all that. What your alone time is the time when you get to put everything that's happened to you, either in your day, in your week, in your month, into perspective. For some people, it might be when you come back from work, when you're just at home. For some people, it can be when you're playing video games. For some people, it can be when you're sitting on the toilet seat. It could be any of those. So yeah, find some alone time and basically put things in perspective. For the next point is leverage from what you've got. Say you were blessed with parents that are affluent. Don't feel the need to, because this is one thing I hate when people always make it a thing like, oh, your parents have money, so they look at you like you're lazy. No. Yes, it happens at times where people that come from an affluent background end up being lazy, but if you are not this type of person and you want to make something for yourself, use your leverage. In that situation, you have the leverage of that your parents have kind of created for you. You have the leverage of money. And in this situation, with being in that bar of money, you also are able to meet people that normal people are most likely not able to meet. So in that regard, use the connections you can get to make something for yourself. Friends as well can be used as leverage. You could have a friend basically that's in a better position as you, meaning he or she has let's say a job on Wall Street, for example, or a job on State Street. In that situation, or your friend is a doctor or something, and you need help to get a job. Other people competing for that job don't know the person, so they're probably not going to get the job over you. So that's what I mean by using your leverage to get what you want. For the next point, invest in yourself. I don't know how to tell you. There are different ways you can invest in yourself. Invest in yourself by reading books. First of all, I don't read books, but that's what everyone says. Invest in yourself by reading books, if you like to read books, or articles. That's more of my part, because I hate reading long stuff. But watching like documentaries, videos, basically building your mind, because at the end of the day, your mind is one of the greatest assets that you can have, because any of this material stuff is just material stuff. It's really just there. Like, the Gucci's, the Louis, the $1 million, the $1 billion is right there, but can your mind handle it? That's the thing. Because there's people that you see people that win lotteries and they win it one day, bust it the next day, because they have a small mind. So you want to grow your mind as much as possible to get ready for whatever success you wish to achieve. I don't know if I made sense by saying that, but and this is actually the second to the last one, is kind of related to what I said, but is keep your hobbies. Like, keep your hobbies as a hobby. I know this generation is so in flux with the hope, like, oh, business, start a business, da. But I feel like there's some things that don't need to be made a business. There's some things that need to be kept as a hobby. I've once read from an article, or from one part of a book that I tried to read, but I didn't get through to the finish. But it basically says you want to have one hobby that pays you, or well, not a hobby, but you want to have something that makes you happy, that pays you, something that feeds you, pays you, feeds you, and makes you happy, something like that. Yeah, I don't know the order, but I might look it up, and then I'm just gonna put it right here. But basically, you want to keep that hobby as a hobby, because most cases, if you start to monetize every single hobby you have, you won't enjoy it, and you're just gonna get a sour taste for that hobby, and you just never want to do it again. And oh wait, actually, that was not the second to the last. The second to the last one point I forgot to mention is learn to love yourself. Learn to love yourself in your earlier times, because when you get to the grown stages, it's a bit more harder, because like I said, like, even though I've told you to not focus on what people say, a lot of stuff is going to go on in your life that you're going to feel like you are the problem, but most of the time you're really not the problem. It's just the way it is. Life is hard. Like, life is really hard. So we have to understand that the way, like, we live in a world, and we're living in life where nobody knows what, like literally nobody has a script of life. No one knows what they're doing. So we're kind of just freestyling this thing we're doing right here. So the only thing you can do is love yourself. Like, think about it. I always tell my friends, like, you probably have 1,000 people hating you that if they could get the chance, it could kill you, and they all hate you. So why would you join them and hate you? Honestly, you might as well just be the only person loving yourself. And whoever, if they hate you, if they love you, that's their business. As long as you love yourself, you've got yourself. That's all I have to say. And finally, guys, enjoy the journey. Like, it's a long way to go. Like, we're not gray yet. We're still young. We can still run down the court. We can still go to the gym. So enjoy the journey. Like, I feel like these are the times when These are the times to look back on, especially like, for example, 2020. This is literally the brokest time of your life, both financially and mentally, because being in your 20s, you have a lot of experiences to go through that's going to either grow, like that's going to grow you regardless. So enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride. This is life that we're passing through. So with that being said, these are just basic things that I wish I knew, or I don't know what I'm gonna name this video, honestly, but I guess these are things that I wish I knew before growing up. Comment down below what you guys think, or if you have some other things that you wish you knew as well. And let's have a chat in the comment section as well. Hope you guys liked that video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I won't be that serious again. So comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.